Hey guys, it's 420 somewhere. Today we're going to talk about Russia and profits. Although not the cool kind of profits, not like somebody who has an idea of what the future is going to be. It's unfortunately the money version of profits, where the cannabis industry is actually not doing so well. Sorry, my voice, I just went on a run. A survey has just come out that asked a bunch of cannabis businesses across the country, asking them if they're profitable. And the results are a little bit disappointing, maybe expected, but basically less than half of these who were surveyed, of these industry or businesses that were surveyed, are profitable, 42%. And over a third, 37%, said they are not profitable, so they're not even breaking even. They're not profitable at all. They're losing money. Of that, 21% felt that they were breaking even. So those aren't great numbers. The industry itself is in different stages throughout the country. Some states it's brand new, some states it's been around for almost 10 years. So we shouldn't be seeing this. I feel like it's disheartening to see that all of these people who were excited to get into this industry are actually seeing it as not being this great big moneymaker that like we thought it would be. A California grower talked to North Bay Business Journal saying, "I think we're in the business where it's the toughest and the profit is the hardest to get. When we became an industry driven on price rather than quality, that's when it became tough. The cannabis business is designed to take big hits, and small growers need to already have money or be able to make sales on site if they want to survive." So yeah, I mean, I think everyone can feel that pain, and everyone can agree with that. The idea that banking is not available for a lot of these people is adding to the problem, making it much, much worse. And once things open up, once price is not completely bogged down by taxes, then we could maybe see some people actually start to make profits in this industry. As for now, it's not a great place to get into business. Okay, and then we have a story on the world's favorite, I don't want to say favorite, on the world's kind of big bad guy right now, Russia, or at least the West's big bad guy. They're connected to cannabis for two reasons, really. One of the main reasons is that they have a WNBA player who is stuck in Russia because when she was going to Russia to play in their league, they found in her suitcase a vape cartridge, and she's been stuck there for about a month now. It seems like it's getting to this point where she's almost a hostage. She's almost an American hostage in the in Russians' captivity, which is kind of a really extreme way of putting it, but that's where we're at, and especially it feels like a very Cold War move. And this all had to do with marijuana. So as you would expect, Russia has a pretty harsh view of marijuana. They don't allow it, of course. They did have an interesting thing happen in the 2000s, where in 2004, they actually brought up the possession limit. So there is, for them, an administrative offense and a criminal offense. Criminal offense is much stronger. You can get years in prison from a criminal offense. Administrative offense is usually a fine or like 15 days in prison or something. The possession limit to reach criminal offense was 6 grams. In 2004, they brought it up to 20 grams. However, just 2 years later, in 2006, they brought that right back down to 6 grams, which is an interesting kind of time in Russia where it's almost like getting more progressive to marijuana and then went the other way very quickly, as if that was a bad idea and they regretted it. Since then, it hasn't changed. It probably won't change for a long time. If anything, they're getting more and more conservative on the idea of anything, really. But of course, Russia is full of these rich, very hypocritical people, and there is an oligarch, which, by the way, I love that term, oligarch, that they have oligarchs. I wish there were oligarchs in the US. There is an oligarch who has been funneling money into the US to different politicians in like Texas, Florida, to get them to favor his cannabis businesses for licenses. So while it's very illegal there's one oligarch who was caught doing this and now is charged by the US. I guess he's at large in Russia right now. You can't find him. What's his name? Andrei Muraviv, which I may have mispronounced, but that's the man, that's the oligarch who has been trying to get cannabis business licenses in the US by giving money to politicians who will kind of vote in his favor. So we have this backdoor support in Russia, which I feel like we have backdoor support for almost everything in Russia, just like we do here, but almost more there because everything is clamped down so tightly. Anyway, this is the smallest news of Russia that we'll probably be hearing in this entire year. I'm definitely concerned about Brittany Griner, the WNBA player, because this could continually get worse and worse, and the longer she stays in captivity in Russia, the worse it's going to be. So hopefully something comes of this. I'm not even sure what will. Maybe when this Ukraine situation finally kind of ends in some way, whether it be a ceasefire or an invasion, a full-on invasion. But that's a different kind of video. This is my only video this week, so I'm gonna talk about the New Music Friday. Today, we have two big albums. We have the new Charli XCX album. I'm a big fan of hers. I think this album is going to be a letdown. I don't love the singles. I think she's trying something new, which is just like this entire pop mainstream sound that's a little tinged with kind of an 80s or 90s feel to it. I don't love it. I don't love the sound. I like when she's reaching to the future as opposed to looking backwards. So I'm of course going to listen to the album. I'm very excited about it. It's called Crash by Charli XCX. It comes out on Friday, and we'll see how it is. Typically for me, her smaller songs actually kind of have the biggest impact because they're the ones that aren't trying to reach the most fans possible. So she can try things, she can be a little more daring. So I'm excited to hear those when the album comes out on Friday. Then the second album is by Rosalia. It's called Motomami. I don't know what that means. Almost sounds like Motor Mommy. Her last album was absolutely stunning in every single way, even down to the music videos. So there's a lot riding on this. Again, this album I think is gonna be a letdown because the singles again aren't great. So we're gonna have two greatly anticipated albums, at least for me, that are probably gonna be letdowns this week, but still excited to see them back and see them making new music. And I look forward to see what their careers do after this, if this may be kind of a sidestep in both of their careers. Whatever. Motomami by Rosalia and Crash by Charli XCX. And that's the show today, and we'll be back next week with some more stories. We'll see you then.